All right. So, guys, hello and welcome to this session of discussion with not cat, ZAT toppers. So, today with us we have Suraj, Bliss, Prashant, and Nidhi who have converted XLRI, and two of them will be joining BM, and two of them will be joining HRM. And with us, we also have Suhasini, who's currently studying in XLRI. So, who will be helping us with the conversation. So, guys, welcome to this talk show and congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Hi. Oh my God, कितने शांत बच्चे हैं. Come on. You guys should be like bumming with questions right now. You should be like, ये भी पूछ ले, ये भी पूछ ले, ये भी पूछ ले. Come on.
You're still overwhelmed with the fact that we have converted XLRI.
That is true. That is true. Congratulations once again. I wish I would have met you in person if at all we would have been on campus. I am so basically 21 pass out. I'll brief about me a little and then you guys can start with you. Okay. So I joined in 2019 BM, and in like I had a prior experience with TCS for 3 years, and then I joined BM program at XLRI. I did my internship with KPMG as management consultant, and then I got placed in laterals at Infosys Consulting. My role there is of business consultant. Apart from that, yes, I would like you guys to speak a little about yourself. What all questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them all the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, so Hasini, thank you for that. And before these guys can start shooting off their questions, I have a lot of questions for them. Like how did you go about ZAT, and how different was it from CAT? What to expect, what not to expect, and how to go about the interviews? Everything, if you can just tell us so the viewers of our discussions can benefit from this. Anyone
So should I
wants to take?
start?
Yeah, please.
Yes. So I think the factor which was decisive in that was the decision making.
Huh?
Everything else is the same, the VARC or the quant. The level of difficulty may be a slight edge, a slightly more difficult than CAT, but everything remains the same. The only practice and the only effort that is to be put separately for that was the decision making. And I think that I I practiced a lot of mocks. I looked at a lot of previous year question papers, and that helped me to decide that what kind of answers are they looking for, because there were no right or wrong answers in those. They were looking some kind of specific, where are you ethically correct, are you, what kind of uh, what kind of thinking do you have while facing a dilemma, ethical dilemma. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. So when you say decision making, like what to expect here in this section?
So maybe let's say if you are an HR, or let's say when you are in a corporate world, and you will be bombarded with difficult scenarios. Let's say one of the questions that I faced was, there is this controversy going on, and how do you deal with it? Do you straight away give up, do you straight away go and make a decision, or do you look at all the factors, or should you, let's say deforestation, and in deforestation is happening in a very rural area, and you are a company which makes products out of trees. So should you think about the people who live there, or should you think about the company, or should you keep both the parties in mind while making the decisions? So things
Right.
like that.
Okay. So anyone else? I mean, do you agree with Bliss, or you have any different opinion?
Can I start?
Yeah, sure.
So for me, LRDI was my arch nemesis. So that was comparatively easier for me since it had no LRDI, and
Okay.
I always liked reading and solving cases. So DM was just a cherry on the top. So for me, DM again, I would agree with Bliss. DM is the make and break section for that. And for DM, you have to follow one strategy. Don't go with any extreme,
Okay.
either the
Exactly.
positive extreme or the negative extreme. Always look for a moderate answer, always look for a sort of liberal answer, and you will easily crack the DM section of that.
Okay. Okay. So, Nidhi, Pranav, if you have anything to add on to Suraj or Bliss.
I think they covered pretty much everything about that. Yeah. So for me personally, I think I was good in LRDI and QA, and for DM, I didn't do any specific preparation. I just went to the exam and thought like I am the manager, and I tried to take decisions. That's it,
Okay.
and I made it.
Nice, nice. You make it sound very simple, but let me tell you, it's not. I've been through that. So it's not that simple. So yeah, because you're thinking like a manager even before becoming a manager. So why even work do you? So did you get asked this question that why do you want to do an MBA? Because you're taking such fantastic decisions. You've proved it in the paper.
No, I think
Yeah, yeah, please.
yeah. So I got good marks in CAT, so I didn't do any specific preparation for that
Okay,
because
okay.
I think I didn't need to. So yeah.
So now we've got both views. Like Bliss says, it is a tad difficult than CAT, and here Prashant is saying that CAT preparation helped him to give that. So what should an aspirant do? Should he like focus on CAT and decision making, or he should take it one notch higher and prepare for that and decision making so that CAT is also taken care of?
I think what I did, I prepared for CAT. So I think
Uh-huh.
the aspirant should prepare for CAT and then prepare for decision making separately.
Okay, all right.
And I think pretty much
If you,
everybody does that.
yeah, and if you
I
look at
would
the
like
time
to add
frame, you will,
something.
yeah, sure, go
Yes,
on.
Suraj, go ahead. That's
Go on,
okay.
go on.
See, I don't think anyone thinks that aims XLRI as the college that they want to go in. They sort of prepare for CAT, and then if they screw up CAT, and then this is the second thing that they aim for. So I don't think that anyone would want to prepare for that as such and decision making, and then yes, you should aim for CAT because APT and BARC and everything remains the same. When we are done with CAT, then go for ZAT. And I don't think that percentile matters here a lot because yes, they say that this median percentile of people who make it through XLRI is 99 and 99 point something, but I am someone who got a 96.5, and I think that more than the percentile is just a cutoff that you have to clear, and then you have to prepare for the interview. It's the interview that is the deal breaker here.
Okay, okay. Suraj, you were also saying something.
Yeah, so I mean, my points are exactly same as this. I mean, even if you look at the time frame, you will get around 1 month to prepare for that after CAT. So
Okay.
the strategy should be prepare for CAT, prepare
Ah,
for QA, VA, and LRDI, and in that 1 month time, go for DM and GK. GK is also very important.
absolutely.
I mean, they never say that how much it matters, but it really matters in the interviews. I mean, if they look at your GA is 46 percentile, 40 percentile, so it sort of have a negative impact in the mind of the interviewer.
I was going to come to this, like everybody's discussed everything else, but what about general awareness? So IFT and ZAT are two exams which focus a lot on GK, and many people find it difficult to convert that as well, clear the sectional cutoff for that. So do take care of that section. And once you start preparing for GK, you'll realize that it helps you in your GD and PI as well. So that is very, very important, and that section shouldn't be left. So one strategy we have been telling people is start reading newspaper, helps in RC, helps in LR, helps in DI also. So do take care, do take note of this aspect. So I'll just single out someone here. So Suraj, while you were the one who spoke last, so how did you prepare for CAT or ZAT, the sectionals? How did you go about it? How did you know that, okay, this is the one I need to target, this is the one I need to focus on?
So for VARC, my strategy was simple: read National Geographic articles. I mean, these articles covered world issues, psychology, history, science. So, and I liked reading these articles. Uh, Again, solving 4 to 5 RCs a day. I mean, you can follow previous year mock PDFs. There are several websites which provide free RCs. For LRDI, again, as I mentioned, it was my arch nemesis. So previous year papers and previous year mocks. Again, 4 to 5 sets a day. Quant, I would say arithmetic and algebra are a deal breaker for CAT. And you have to study number systems and geometry also for that. So my primary focus was on arithmetic and algebra. I mean, honestly, I left geometry completely because geometry for me was like a puzzle, and I wouldn't like spend 4 to 5 minutes in a puzzle which I cannot solve. So either by spending time on geometry, I focused more on algebra and arithmetic. And DM again, I liked solving problems. I liked reading cases. So it helped a lot. So read newspapers and read previous years these
That's very
DM
important.
sections also.
Yes.
It would also help you a lot.
So one of my teachers used to say that if you want to stump an engineer, give him geometry questions. So I can clearly see that Suraj left geometry. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It can work or break you. So do not leave any section, I would say. But yeah, you can focus less on geometry if that is kind of your speed breaker, but focus more on the other aspects then. So Suraj balanced it out by focusing more on algebra and number systems.
Right.
Number systems is definitely the most important
Definitely
subject.
very important.
So anyone else who wants to pitch in with their strategy for either LRDI, VARC or Quant?
Yeah, hi,
Am I
Vishwas.
allowed as well?
Can I?
Continue.
Yeah, so I wanted to say, yeah, Suraj covered pretty much. I basically did what Suraj said, but Suraj left out the mock part. So my strategy mainly revolved around the mocks. I basically used to give 2 to 3 mocks every week and then analyze them. So after analyzing mocks, you get to know that what are your weak topics, because in algebra and arithmetic there are many topics. So you need to single out which one to focus more on and which one you are good at.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so mocks helps a lot in that. And also for VARC, like I was always a reader, so I didn't have any hard time in VARC. But there are certain questions in which you will, you get them wrong always. So mocks help you single out the type of questions and then read more about the tricks or the methods to follow to answer those questions. So, yeah.
Absolutely, Prashant. So what we've seen here, and we've discussed this with ABC call getters as well. So everybody says that you need to practice your sections, but you need to test them out in the mocks and realize how to pick those sections in which you are good at. So not just practice, but selection of questions is equally important. So Suhasini, you were saying something.
And these guys have pretty much covered everything. I was just reiterating the fact that because you have just 1 month left and you have already appeared for CAT, most of your preparation is already done. That 1 month should be more on, yes, preparation of DM, because that wasn't there already in CAT. But apart from that, focusing on your strengths, because, this is the time when you should be very confident that, okay, you have learned a lot of everything that you need so far, and you just need to practice it and be sure that you are able to do your best in the main exam and that you can do through mocks. So yeah, I guess these guys almost covered it all.
So many call getters and people who've converted, everyone has the same message that practice mocks, give mocks as much as you can, and not just give them blindly, analyze them as well to understand what you're doing wrong, which questions you could have picked but you did not pick, and which questions you committed silly mistakes so that you can work on them. And sometimes it also helps to go through the answers where you were correct as well. to understand if there could have been another way. So this has been the underlying messages in all the discussions that I have had so far. So yeah, Nidhi, you've been quite quiet. So if you would like to add something.
Yeah, so actually my preparation strategy was quite different because
Oh, nice.
so where I work, I don't get a lot of time. I usually take 10, 12 hours a day is a normal for me. So I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. But due to my huge workx, DM was something which was quite easy for me because a lot of situations I had come across in my workplace, and the thought process there directly applied here. And also, like, I would say ki that is one place where you don't need to score exceptional percentile, as Bliss said. Myself, I just barely made the cut to get a call, and
Okay.
even then I converted. So the thing is, you just that is a little different from cat because cat only picks the top 1 percentile for the brackies and everything. So so that was the kind of a second chance for me, and it was like quite a different experience. And also I could manage my work and schedule and get through XLRI, which was a blessing for me. So that's one thing I would like to say, that you still make it with your work schedule as well.
So very, very interesting point here Nidhi has made. So her workx helped her in DM. So, but the workx also took away time from her. So she couldn't practice as much. So how did you manage with that workx? How did you prepare the sectionals or give the mocks?
So I used to capitalize on the weekends. Like I would not let any Saturday or any Sunday go wasted. Like whatever I used to miss during the weekdays, I used to cover up in the weekends. I would take multiple sectional tests, and sectional test was something like after I've finished my office at 12 or 1 a.m. I have to give one sectional test. I have to analyze, and also with so many things moving around, you need to create a plan for yourself, or else you will just keep. Getting lazy or getting tired on giving up on your dream, and that is one thing that you should never do. You have to create a concrete weekly plan or a monthly plan, and just stick to it. So that is what helped me through that. Like, this is how I managed.
Very, very inspirational, Nidhi, that you need to have that vision that you need to get into one of the top B schools of this country. And with that vision, you need to create a formulate a plan and then work towards it. So simple steps, but very difficult to follow. So discipline is utmost important. So is there any fresher here among us? Suhasini, were you a fresher?
No, I had 3-year workx.
Okay. Because I would like to understand that how did the freshers manage, especially on the decision
I'm a fresher, which was.
Okay.
Pranav is a fresher.
Pranav,
I'm
please.
also pseudo fresher, 8 months.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm the right person to tell about how I prepared for decision making, because I didn't. So
Okay. So Suraj, would you like to tell us? So Suraj has already said that he was good at solving cases. So which type of cases are you referring to here, Suraj?
I mean, any type of case. You open LinkedIn, just
Okay.
search case competitions and
All right.
start reading. And newspapers also work. Like, read Hindu editorials. You will develop a problem solving abilities if you read a lot. So yeah, these kind of cases.
So that's very important for not just for CAT, XAT or your GDPIs, but for post your convert as well, because these case study competitions and case studies in consult are very important. So Suhasini would tell us she would have gone through her share of case studies. So this helps you a lot in the interviews, in your summers and finals. So it's always good to start early. So with that, that brings me to the D-Day. Like you've given CAT, there's some sort of relaxation on that part. So do you like feel the pressure is off or the pressure is more or it's the same during that?
What happens is that 90% of the students or candidates slack off after CAT.
True.
And those 10% are the one who makes that. So you just have to work hard for last 1 month and you will make XLRI.
Very, very well said that you do not need to lose focus at the last leg. So is anybody here from Delhi?
Yes.
Okay, so I used to face this problem. I do not know if you face this or not. So that happens right in the middle of winters, and it's pretty
And
cold at the center. So
right.
that definitely played a part on my mind. Yeah. So if
So
you,
I think this time that was even worse.
oh,
It was raining cats and dog in Delhi, and my center was in Noida. I'm from Dwarka. So I had to travel like 3 to 4 hours, and it was raining heavily. And as I enter the building, so I opened a gate and I injured my right hand.
okay.
So, but again, there was this thought in my head that yes, I mean, I worked hard for like 1.5 years for this. I cannot let this opportunity go.
True. So I would like to bring forth this point that this can happen in ZAT, in CAT. Again, do not lose focus because you have worked hard. Like Surya said, you have worked the entire year for this. So you cannot let these things come into the way. Of course, it rattles you, but the one who maintains his calm, maintains his composure will get through. So it's really important that you take care of that and don't let those circumstances play on your mind. So you need to focus on the big picture. So having said that, like, okay, CAT done, SAT done, then comes the other half, the GDPI, which everybody doesn't focus on while preparing for these exams. So how did you guys go about this part now? Okay, you got the SAT results. Now you knew. uh, Now you're competing with the top 1 percentile or top 2 percentile who've made it. The competition is more intense. So now what do you do?
So
Bliss, would
should
you
I?
like to take this up? Yeah.
Yes. So I got a 96.5 and I received both the calls. And I remember that I joined GDP and I constantly messaged Prashant sir and asked that 96 point, do people at 96.5 convert? Like, is it like, are they just calling us for the sake of rejecting or do we really convert? So this is what my real dilemma was. But Prashant sir told people will convert, you just focus on your preparation. And yes, if there are outliers, you can be that one outlier.
True, true.
So so I just focused on GDPI on the topic. So unlike the other IM interviews, the Excel interviews are not why MBA, introduce yourself. They are quite conversational. They just go with the flow. There are no generic questions as such. But yes, you have to be thorough with what you have been doing so far and what your dislikes and likes are. And whatever you say, have to say that with conviction. Let's say they ask you questions about gender diversity or anything in particular, any opinion. So whatever, there are no right and wrong answers in this too. Just like decision making, they just want to know what is your thought process behind your views and how well do you, stick to that. So yes, this is what my interview was all about. I constantly went through newspapers and I recollected my 24 years of experience. So, what have I done during my school life? What have I done in my work ex? What am I? Who am I? And what were the small steps which led me to this? So, yes, so it was like that.
So yeah, Bliss brings out another good point. So people fret on their scores and also on their past, not just the XAT score, but on 10, 12th also, before the XAT exam as well. So a lot of people approach us saying my 10th exams were not good, 12th scores are not good. Should I just drop the idea? But it doesn't matter because what's the past is the past. Your CAT on that score is written in stone. You cannot change that. The only thing you can change is the future. So better to maximize everything, keep on maximizing every score that you have in your hand. So at that point of stage, you have GD and PI in your hand. That is done and dusted. So focus on that, maximize it, and who knows, you might just convert. So people, I would again like to point this out that you shouldn't lose hope. So if you've got the call, give it your best. Don't think that you cannot make it, because like they said, there will be outliers, and that outliers are people only. They're not aliens. So it can be you, and then you would again next year it would be you on this discussion forum telling your story that I too thought I couldn't make it, but I did. So learn from me. So that's very important. So if any one of you would like to point how did you get to know about Prep Zone, and how did Prep Zone help you out in this journey of yours?
So after receiving like calls from different CAT colleges, IIMs and Accelerate, I mean, I made a mistake in CAT 2019. I thought that I have calls and I will clear the interviews. So again, I never wanted to repeat this mistake again. So I was a part of many informal groups, and I mean, in those groups, we used to discuss like which coaching centers or which mentoring centers are best for these interviews. And Prep Zone, so I came to know about Prep Zone from those groups. And I remember I first called Prashant sir and like told him about ki I had calls in 2019 also, but I couldn't convert them. So he said ki this time you will convert. And I mean, Prep Zone, what the first thing that they will ask is ki you work on a profile map. Write down each and everything that happened with you, uh, like since the time you were born, because interviews are completely random. They can ask you anything, like if your school's name is Kamal Public School. So why Kamal? Who is Kamal? So you have to know each and everything about yourself. And pointing to specifically that, they ask, I think, 4 to 8 questions even before the interviews. So you have to write each and everything which you absolutely know in those questions, because obviously the interviews will revolve around those questions. The thing which I did was they asked about my favorite subject uh, in the BM interview, and I wrote time series, and they roasted me over time series. So I know that why I couldn't convert BM, because I wasn't very much prepared on time series. But I wrote it. It is my favorite subject. Again, I didn't wanted to repeat this mistake for HRM. The interview was again revolved around the academic part, and I nailed it and got into Excel.
Nice, nice. So guys, yeah, be sure of whatever you're answering. Make sure that you can follow it up. So it should be a very well thought out answer. Take a pause, take 5 seconds, 10 seconds to frame your answer in your mind. This is what we tell the mentees every year, that it's okay to take a pause, but you should have the question, the answer for the question prepared in your head. And it should kind of be comprehensive, and be ready for follow-up questions as well. Because don't think that the interviewer will just ask you one question and be done with it. So, and it is very important to know not just your surroundings, but yourself, because it starts with you. So it's really important to know about yourself, know what you've done so far, and know what you want to do. So this is what the PIs are all about. So if anyone
Vishwas,
else, sure,
Vishwas, I
Prashant.
have few things here. So I still remember when Suraj sent sent his live story. So that was very creative. I never made it public because that was very unique about him. And if I'll share with like in group, or maybe these with at least these 4 people should know that how Suraj has put his story, because he will be joining with them. So how, like, what advantage he enjoys, because it is like a creative director of some company, or he already made that document in such a way. No one has given me like this, but that was very creative, and I knew from his writing and other things that he is going to make it. And I still remember Suhasini's interview of like one of the top IMs. I'll not say the name, but yeah. Suhasini, do you remember that when I think you were in first interview on 1st of Feb, and we had one
Yes,
mock interview.
I am surprised to remember the date.
Yes.
Yes.
And the question that I asked you about your company that you used to work, and same question was asked, and I don't know why you haven't prepared, but
I
that was
missed
the
it, yes.
if you have, luckily you got the same type of college, but yeah, would have converted that. That was the breaking point, and that was not your mistake, because you guys just started your preparation that year, and your interview was, I think, the first or the second day they were interviewing you.
Yes, yes, yes. That was my first interview, and I guess from 31st they started, and
Yes.
on first I had my interview. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was the second day. So I did not have too many references to go to, but yes, that
Yeah.
was one question which I felt that I should have definitely known, not only because it was related to my company, but also because Prashant sir had already asked me that question in the mock interview. I was like, why? How could I forget it? And
Yeah,
then-
actually, if you don't remember that type of question that was asked with your like in your mock, that your confidence is going to like in like it will go
Yeah.
in negative at the same moment. After that,
True.
whichever thing is to your interview, it will not going to work for you.
You cannot
Few
give your
people
100% posted. It becomes very
because
difficult. You can definitely, but it becomes difficult. So yeah.
so after Suraj's story, I can relate it to Suhasini's because what thing went wrong for her, those things was like even I am learning from your experiences. So that was something from my side. So Vishwas, you can carry.
Yeah, so guys, I think this brings us to the end of the conversation part where you are helping the students, future aspirants. But if you guys have any doubts, so Suhasini here has joined us. And if you have any questions, or Suhasini, what you could tell us what to expect at Accelerate.
Vishwas,
I
maybe
will.
we can stop recording here from here because
Sure.
maybe some unofficial part comes or some secrets he wants to spill here.
Okay, I'll stop the recording.